Hi, my name is John Whitehead. I'm an executive and leadership coach, and welcome to my weekly video blog posts. This is an ongoing series looking at DEI, and this week we explore workplace culture and policies. Workplace policies are a reflection of what the company values, as well as what they do not value. To improve diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace policies can be very influential for creating rules and standards that are fair for every employee. They help to communicate priorities as well as boundaries. Policies alone do not drive DEI, but they are an important part of the effort to help foster an inclusive culture. It also takes accountability and transparency to build this culture. When we focus on achieving an inclusive workplace, we can measure our success by tracking workplace diversity. Defining the company's DEI initiatives is important. A DEI statement is an articulation of the company's commitment to furthering diversity, equity, and inclusion practices within their organization. It acknowledges how diversity, equity, and inclusion will shape the company's values. However, a DEI statement is more than a formal public broadcast to consumers, investors, and employees. It is a driver of change within the company. The efforts to align and communicate a clear DEI statement involves important conversations within the company and determines benchmarks to help measure the effects and success. These important conversations will determine current understandings and ambitions, as well as decisions on actionable steps to move forward. A company is held accountable to their commitments to diversity. A DEI statement will present the company's mission and explain how diversity, equity, and inclusion connect to their company's mission. Their statement should reflect on the company's dedication to prioritizing the voices, perspectives, and needs of marginalized groups, as well as their current DEI efforts and company actions. When creating a DEI statement, there are various questions that the company can consider, including, why is this statement important? What are our goals that relate to DEI? How does our organization define these important terms? How are DEI efforts currently incorporated in our company? And are all voices heard and considered in the creation of our DEI statement? You can find my DEI statement on the homepage of my website at johnkwhitehead.ca. As companies continue to strive towards creating inclusive environments, zero tolerance policies are becoming more common. Now, a zero tolerance policy prohibits any form of harassment or discrimination, including sexism, homophobia, racism, and ageism. It is intended to help employees feel safe in the workplace while respecting one another's differences. Additionally, the policy will outline the consequences for not adhering to the policy. Every company is responsible for drafting a zero tolerance policy that includes important and relevant elements. Now, some of these elements may include prohibitive behavior, which is physical harm to others, discrimination, sexual harassment, how to report non-compliance, to whom it should be reported, whether it's the supervisor, human resources, what the reporting method is, like using a hotline or a written report. Consequence for engaging in such behaviors, like verbal warnings, written warnings, termination, legal action. The company's responsibility, to provide training on the policy, encourage employees to report incidences, enforce punishment for non-adherence. And then the final element is the employee's responsibility, which is to understand the policy, report incidences. So what about handling discrimination complaints? Well, discrimination and harassment can severely impact an individual. It can affect the victim mentally, emotionally, and physically. When employees come forward with complaints regarding this behavior, it is crucial to take them very seriously. A discrimination complaint will notify an appropriate authority, whether it is HR or a manager or boss, that they should let them know that there's been an act of discrimination. This act of discrimination may have been witnessed or personally experienced. Employees have the legal right to report these incidences to the appropriate authority in the workplace. When harassment or discrimination complaints arise, it is important to do the following. address the complaint immediately. So listen to the employee with respect and full attention as they provide details on the incident. Second, take every complaint seriously. Keep the investigation confidential. Third, conduct a thorough investigation. It may be necessary to hire a third party for the investigation. Fourth, avoid retaliation against the employee or witness. Next, document every step of the investigation. And finally, take necessary disciplinary actions against the harasser. And finally, for this week, an important part of building an inclusive and company culture is to recognize the many different holidays and festivities that happen throughout the year. A diverse workplace accepts and accommodates for these differences. Since every employee has different celebrations and holiday traditions, it is best to take an inclusive approach. This way, everyone will feel respected and welcome. Inclusion involves taking the time to learn about diverse practices and deciding on best practices to take an inclusive approach by these celebrations. By bringing awareness to diversity and inclusion events, it will help to set standard for equality in the organization. To enhance inclusivity with holidays and cultural events, consider the following. Have employees share details related to their cultural and religious practices. Research diverse holidays. Consider rephrasing your holiday greetings. Have a diversity calendar as a tool to show religious, cultural, and historical events of diverse groups. Be fair with time off requests and accommodations. And finally, bring awareness to others on diverse holidays. So again, thank you for watching this series on DEI. And if you'd like some more information on the work that I do, interested in reaching out to me on this topic and others, feel free to see my contact information at the end of this video. Thank you.